When season 2 was released, we went nuts, yada yada yada. You guys know what I'm talking about here. If you have not already seen my last video on the Hilda movie, I recommend you check that out first, but in this video I'll be discussing what we currently know about Hilda season 3, including when it's releasing, who will be writing the episodes, and of course if it will even come out. So let's first start off with what we know about season 3 so far. Unfortunately, it has not been officially confirmed yet. Silvergate has yet to announce any sort of third season of Hilda whatsoever, but hold on to your horses. I'm about to explain why I think it's almost definitely gonna happen.
Semi-official information.
In around late April, a Peacock Sounds employee, the studio responsible for recording the voice actor's lines, Sarah Faust, who has been also credited as a dialogue editor for Hilda, responded to a comment questioning the existence of a third season by saying that the third season hasn't started production yet and that it was only in pre-production and scripting. What's even more interesting about this is that earlier this month, Woodman's voice actor in a now deleted tweet shared an image of himself, seemingly with himself alongside a couple of showing recording executives. So it seems to me that what Sarah was saying here is the truth, and this whole tweet here further confirms that by, I guess, after the whole pre-production scripting part was finished, then they went on to record lines for the show. Also included on this tweet here is a sketchy paper seemingly with a script for an episode of season 3, and I'll get to that in just a moment, but what I want to focus here first is where it says written by Ben Green. Ben Green has never written on a Hilda episode before this, and what's interesting is that if you were to go onto his website before, it used to say that he was a freelance writer for Hilda, working on multiple episodes for an upcoming season, and this was after season 2 came out. But if you were to look on his website now, it removes the mention of a new season. It's interesting how we are able to get so much information about season 3 from this many people so far, only for season 3 to not actually be officially confirmed yet. So let's move on to speculation, shall we?
Speculation.
I want to first talk about Ben Green. Ben has, well, I've seen certainly worse filmography. Now, I'm not so much worried about Ben being picked to be a writer for episodes of season 3, but rather the fact that the show is choosing a brand new freelance writer to write for the show. I want to go into Hilda expecting quality episodes with great writing, just like with the past 2 seasons, and I don't want to have to go into this new season expecting all of that, only for them to be just very disappointed with its quality of episodes. Let's take another show that I used to love back then as an example. Pretty sure you know where I'm going with this. Star vs. the Forces of Evil. A good chunk of Star's best episodes come in season 1 and 2, and a good chunk of them were also directed by Giancarlo Volpe. Volpe in the Star community is seen as being responsible for making the show have its qualities. It wasn't until Volpe dropped off from the show that the seasons that came after the second one just weren't as good. And that is my concern with season 3's episodes moving forward. I know Luke has, I think, stated that all of the show's writing and storyboarding goes through him for approval before, but in my opinion, this is still cause for concern, as it would take just a single writer like Ben, someone who hasn't been familiar with the show in terms of working on it, to my knowledge at least, to totally mess everything up and make the show farther and farther from the main reason why we loved it so much in the first place. I mean, who knows, maybe his writing is much, much better compared to his acting performances, and that we could either have the worst season of Hilda so far, or by far the best season of Hilda, bar none. I'm really just hoping that the latter is true, or at least it's just as good as the last 2 seasons were. So then let's talk about the images shared by Ako Mitchell. I want to talk about this image here where it shows the script. So from what we can tell by looking into details on this image, that if we look on the bottom of the image here, it mentions some sort of Farah tree, someone's aunt, and based on what we are seeing here on this image alone, it sort of looks like the script is an episode on Woodman's family. Which, if you have not read the Hilda Beastery, you'll know that other species of woodmen do indeed exist. in the Hilda universe. There's been some speculation as to what the scribbled out part could be, although looking into it a bit closer, there is something interesting that we can see here. And they are these numbers 303. What does this mean? Well, if you have been following up with any of the behind-the-scenes work of Hilda, you'll know that numbers like these are meant to give you an idea of what the episode is. The first episode in front is the season number, and the ones behind it are the episode numbers. Take this deleted scene from the Troll Circle, for example. Because this deleted scene was meant for Season 2's first episode, you will see a number displayed here as 201, otherwise known as Season 2, Episode 1. And this tweet by Kaisa Hammerlund, voice actress of Kaisa, shows an early screen cap of an episode called The Witch. And on the bottom right corner, you can see the number 203. And The Witch is Season 2's third episode. So it's likely that this number, from what I can tell here, 303, means that it is Season 3's third episode. The title of the episode is A Different Story. We don't know what the first word is, but from what I can tell here, it most likely says something like something in time. We don't know what the full name is. Some have speculated it might be Tooth in Time, Wood in Time, and if you're that kind of guy, a Hat in Time. Although personally I like to believe that it's probably Loot in Time, just because we've already seen Woodman kinda already looting other people's stuff and barging into homes like Hilda's, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if there was a whole episode dedicated to that. But even more interesting, in my opinion, is seeing if this episode will be based on Woodman as a species. God, I really hope that's true. So let's talk about the release date real quick. Assuming it will release at all, honestly, for how early Season 3's production is, I highly doubt that we are going to be able to get a third season anytime throughout next year. I'm hoping it's sometime between early 2023 and mid 2023. It just seems like production has just barely started, and so I would like to believe that because of how infamous Hilda is with its hiatuses, that I would think that a third season will be no different than that. Hey, if you like Hilda, you should come join our Hilda Kingdom Discord server, the most royal Hilda Discord server. It has a wonderful community, new updates on Hilda AI, giveaways, and so much more. You should really join if you have the time to. We're hoping to reach 200 members soon. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see me post more Hilda content soon, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And yeah, see you guys soon. Peace.